Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be going over everything you need to know for the released patch today. That's going to be food gathering, that's going to be quality of life that's been released, potentially banners, NPC relationship quests, NPC favorite foods. It's all going to be listed in chapters down below, so click where you want to go. Let's go ahead and dig in. So we are joined with chat today. Chat is going to be joining us for these videos, which is a little bit unusual. But first off, we're going to talk about the quality of life that we have and what's been going on. So they did announce a lot of quality of life specifically around the pet system, as well as the mount decos for Citadel quests. So there was an error where previously mount decos could be acquired in Citadel quests, and now they could, then they couldn't be. So they did compensate us for that, and they did send us some mount decos as well as fixing that issue. The pet situation has been significantly improved. It's not 100% still, but the cost has been dramatically reduced. So you can see here, just going to the pet menu, the fuse menu, doing my 3 stars into a 4-star has a 40% success rate at 1500 terite, which is much better. The 2 stars have a 70% at 500. And the 1 stars into a 2-star is a 100% at 200 terite. So they definitely improved the pet system. You're going to be able to get a free pet from your weekly rewards or a free pet summon ticket. And it's definitely seems like they are listening. One other thing from the news that you might be confused about, or you might be navigating as you're looking through like different bundles and such, is where is the 100-day bundles. So we did get the login event. So the login event for 100-day launch is going on right now. However, the 100-day bundles are not coming out until September 1st. So that's when we're going to start seeing those bundles, even though they have already kind of populated into the community. Now, the Dimension Deer Amber is going to be a free mount that we're going to be getting from this. Unfortunately, the rarest plus familiar ticket is only going to have the 6 rare plus familiars, no asteroid familiars like Korean or Taiwan. And then the weapon does have most of them except for the PvP. So pretty good all around. That's pretty much it for the quality of life and kind of, real quick TLDRs that you need to know. We're going to go ahead and transition and talk about cooking, gathering, specifically gathering right now. So if you didn't know, there are 6 cooking ingredients that you can gather. 2 of them you can only get from a shop, so there's 4 gatherables, sorry. So we're gonna go ahead and show those locations. If you guys are in my Discord, you may already see them in my Discord. I do have them pinned in the Ni no Kuni section. So if you do want to see a graphic version of these, that might help you. But a lot of people are wondering where to gather, what to do. When you are going out gathering, in the beginning, it's not too big of a deal. But if you are planning on doing long-term gathering, make sure that you are getting the food that is specific for your gathering, and make sure you are getting the food that increases your gathering rate. So you can actually get dumplings, and then you can get one other specific food item to increase your drop rate. A great example here would be like my pizza, sorry, not my pizza, my fruits here. Increases acquisition rate when gathering Golden Grove petals and Serene Forest herbs. Buy 2 for 10 minutes. So having this HQ food is really going to increase my gathering speed. So when you're kind of getting to the midway point, make sure you're using these foods to really accelerate things. So there's 4 different foods that you can gather. And they're gathered in the Serene Forest, the Golden Grove, the Eastern Heartlands, and the Southern Heartlands. So first off, we're going to go to the Serene Forest. We're going to go right here. In my image, it does show this area right here. It's actually going to be right near this guide stone. So we're going to go ahead and go here, and they pop up just as these little green sprouts here, and it's only on this upper level. So you just come here, they're little purple green sprouts. and you just gather them, and it will give you serene forest herb and dried serene forest herb. Now, each gathering location has 2 different items, and that's because there's 2 different cooking locations. There is recipes for you to cook in the witch's cauldron, and then there's recipes for you to cook in the familiar forest, and I'll get into the specifics of those cooking recipes here in a little bit, but for right now we're just focusing on the gathering because that's probably where most people are going to want to be starting. Now, the herb is gathered here. When you go to the Golden Grove, sorry, is it Golden Grove? This is how confusing this is. There's literally there's literally so many things to gather. There's literally so many things. It is Golden Grove. You're going to come right down here. So you're going to go, and this is going to be the petals that you can gather. So you come right in here to Golden Grove. There's going to be petals on the ground here in this entire entry area. So flower petals right here, and pretty much you can run around anywhere and gather there. The next item that we're going to gather is going to be in the Eastern Heartlands, and this is pretty easy. This is going to be the oysters, and this gets you oyster pearls. One thing to note is that the Witch's Cauldron does have access to a buff that gives you an extra oyster pearl drop. So you just come around here, and they are literally all along the edges of this beach down here. And no doubt you are going to be running into hundreds of people gathering these things. So I apologize to everybody who is like running through here. You should be friendly. If you see other people, just be like, hey, be nice to them. And you can see the pearl clam right here, and you just run along here, and you collect all of them. The final area is going to be Pluff Meat, and you're going to want to go right here, which is going to be near the kind of old building, very close to where the llama event was. And you are going to encounter pluffs here. Now, pluffs are these little long-haired creatures right here that are like walking around. The best way to do this is to kick the pluffs and to kick them towards a wall. You want to get them into a place where they are stuck in a corner. So you can kick them right here. So like, this is great. And then you can just, put your character here, watch Netflix or something, and you can literally just keep kicking the same pluff over and over again and harvesting it for its meat. This is just the best way to do it. Very simple, very efficient. This is what we kind of found out on stream. Now, in terms of cooking, there are 2 different areas that you can cook. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Witch's Kitchen first. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Witch's Kitchen. Now, one important note, just like regular cooking, is you can have regular success and you can have HQ success. And one of the Witch's items, if you do go to the relic skill here, does increase super success rate by 10%. So if you're going to be doing a mass amount of food crafting, you may want to wait until you can unlock this. It may be pretty important for you depending on how you want to pull this off. Anyway, you come in here, you go to the cauldron, and you have a variety of different foods. These foods are both going to help you obtain items as well as trade to the specific cooking NPCs for favors. So you're going to want to craft a lot of these. Now, some of these cannot be crafted a lot, such as the coffee down here, for example, because the coffee and the glacier water are only available from the metal exchange shop right here. So you can see you can only get 15 of these per week. And you can only trade them out here. So you're not going to get a ton of these. So NPCs who have these items as their favorite, you may want to use another item. And we'll talk about the NPC favor system here in just a little bit, but something to keep in mind there, especially considering that the coffee item, for example, does give a 300%, if you do craft the coffee, it gives a 300% soulstone drop rate, which is pretty good. So you will definitely be wanting to do that and maybe even use that food. Now, it is important to note that these food items are very specific, like they're very specific. So the farm NPCs that came out, so the farm NPCs that have favor and the farm recipes are somewhat separate from this event. They're almost like two separate categories. And so that's important to think about here. If you try and combine them and think they're like super interlinked, they are in a way, but you want to think about them as two different categories. So once I finish my witch's pot cooking, I would go and I would do favor quests with my witch's cooking specific favor NPCs. Now let's go ahead and head over to the familiar forest now. The cooking item can also be obtained in failed cookings, yes. It can also be obtained from the item from clearing the witch as well. But for the most part, you are not going to have a ton of it. So once we get to the familiar forest, if you have run through your missions, you will have access to the cooking pot from the familiar forest, and you'll go ahead and select this. And these items are pretty good. These are going to give you pluff meat acquisition rate up. This is going to give you serene forest herb rate up. Floral apple pie will make these gathering locations noticeable, which is not really important. What you will need is you will want the tomato frittata possibly. If you are running low on materials in your farm, like I need tomatoes really bad, eating the tomato frittata will actually double my yield from the cooking in the farm. So this is what you're going to want to craft and do. You're also going to need these recipes specifically for your NPCs for the familiar forest, and you can recruit these NPCs over here. And this gets us into the familiar system or the favor system that was released. You can see here that I have Tumble right here. You can see here that I have another NPC, Minty, right here. And what's going to happen is, because I have both of them here, when I do use my potion, Minty has management points because I've been feeding Minty. So because I've fed Minty their favorite food, they get management points here. And we'll talk about how I got Minty here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use my food item here. And because Minty has those management points, every time Minty goes and gathers an item, it's going to take 1 management point away. So it's the 900 management points is essentially equivalent to gathering 1 food item. Now, when you're going through here in the farm, you can get an NPC for each section. So you can get an NPC for tomatoes, corn, apples, and for watering. And how you get them is you trade their favor level up. So let's go ahead and talk about the favor system. So the favor system right now has both the farm friends and the cooking friends. So the cooking friends has a limit of 40 food items that you can trade to NPCs. And before we get too far into this, a lot of people want to know what the favorite foods are. That's probably what they've come to this video for. We have a list from Thin Bear and kind of combined together. If you're looking for this list, I will put it down below in an Imgur link. It's also pinned in my Discord. This is the list of the favorite foods for the characters. It's these foods, and then it is also the HQ version of these foods. So there's not 2 different foods that are their favorites. It's just the HQ and the regular. When you do feed food to an NPC, you get 4 points for regular feeding, 8 points for favorite, and then they all have a least favorite. There is an achievement for feeding 19 foods to NPCs that they don't like, so make sure you do that. You can get up to level 5. It's pretty easy to get the NPCs to join rather quickly. You just kind of, find whatever food you can churn out and you just start shoveling at them. And the farm NPCs in particular will come really quickly. You can see that I've already completed one of the cooking competitions judges as we were going through here. You can also see that I have 2 of the farm, and of course Evermore is not here right now. One thing to note here is you can see the rewards and you can see what they will do. So there's an individual unit reward and there is a group category reward. So you can see that, when I finish her, she's going to come and she'll help me take care of my cornfields. So she's going to take care of my cornfields. And then he is going to come, and when I get him, he is probably going to water. Yep. He's going to water my fields. And then, of course, as I increase my level and my reputation with him, I am going to go ahead and get him. Now, there is also a group category here, which is easy to overlook, that you can get 10 tickets of each. And then there's a group category over here, which has tickets as well as a variety of items. Particularly for the cooking event, there's a lot of really good items. There is also Witch's Secret Sauce that's hidden here. A lot of people ask me, you know, how do you get secret sauce? What's the secret to getting secret sauce? And the reality is you just got to keep doing things. You got to keep churning it out. You got to keep, you know, crafting food, crafting HQ food, doing all of these side cooking achievements in the actual mission to get these. So there is actually a lot of really good rewards in here. You can see like these 4-leaf clovers are good. You have over here, you can get a 6-star Joker gem, which is amazing. And I believe it's a select Joker gem. Right here, you get some feasts. So there's just a lot of good reasons to do this. I would encourage you to kind of embrace it. There's no real rush right now. Pretty much everything is on a weekly basis currently. So you do want to just make sure that you get your 40 food donations in for the cooking event before the weekly kind of duration ends. Now, we've talked about gathering, we've talked about food, we've talked about kind of everything else going on. Let's talk about bundles, just to kind of close out the video, and let's talk about what is going to be viable and important to buy. So, of course, the Premium Pass Pack is going to be recommended. Don't fall for the $80 pack with Pufu right here. They released another pack that's going to be pretty good. I would say this 10 ticket is at cost, essentially. Some people would say this is better than at cost, but I would say this is at cost. You don't need to go crazy for this. And there's better deals right now. There is, of course, the Sweets Cart Pack, which you will want to buy. But coming through here, you're going to see there's a lot of like episode passes. This is also hidden. The additional dungeon ticket for 5, which gives you the 111 and the dungeon ticket. Definitely good to get that, even though it is a little bit hidden. The episode pass, again, don't get this. Come down to the relay shop. This is where it's really going to be at. This is probably the best bundle in the game right now, I would think. So you do have right here, you have Witch's Kitchen dungeon tickets. But what's crazy here is the amount of tickets you get for the amount of money that you spend. So you get about 100 of each ticket for both equipment and summon for about, I would say, $75, $80, which is better than pretty much any other bundle you can get in the game. You also get a 6-star pet accessory, and for 1,500 diamonds at the end, you can get a free 4-star Pufu. So there is a lot of like things that you can do here, and this is definitely the best bundle to go for. So if you're looking for a bundle to go for, go here. Personally, I'm waiting on purchasing anything right now with the 100 days coming out on September 1st. I'm kind of on the fence in the terms of, do I want to buy anything, or is there maybe a better bundle that is coming down the road? I think that's everything I have right now. If you guys have questions, put them down in the YouTube comment section. It's about 5:30 a.m. right now. I am going to go to bed because I've been streaming forever. If you want more detailed questions, you can go to my VOD, go to my Discord. There's a lot of pinned messages there that are related to the cooking event, that are related to favor NPCs that you can use. Some of them will be in the link down below as well. So hopefully this helps you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.